Hi everyone, I'm Marie, a speech therapist working with children with ADHD. My life seemed perfect, but I need to tell you how it all started falling apart. Have you seen next week's client list? It's packed, my assistant Sarah said, handing me a stack of files. That's great news. More kids we can help. I smiled, adjusting the framed photo of John and me on my desk. My engagement ring caught the light, making my smile widen. By the way, your fiancé called, something about wedding venue options. Oh right, thanks for reminding me. I checked my phone and saw 3 missed calls from John. Balancing my career and wedding planning wasn't easy, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Later that evening, Mom Henderson called as I reviewed patient files. Sweetheart, how are you holding up with all the wedding planning? I'm good, Mom. Just busy as usual. How's Dad? He's concerned, honey. Your brother Jake came by again today. My stomach tightened. Jake, my biological brother, had reappeared in my life 3 months ago after years of silence. What did he want? He was asking strange questions about your college fund, our savings. That's odd. I'll talk to him. The next morning, Jake was waiting outside my office. Surprise, sis. Thought I'd bring you coffee. Jake, this is unexpected, I said, accepting the cup cautiously. Since reconnecting, he'd been overly interested in my life, constantly showing up unannounced. Can't a brother visit his successful sister? Oh, by the way, I met John at the gym yesterday. Cool guy. You met John? You didn't mention that. Random coincidence. We got talking about the wedding. Man, it must be expensive, huh? Those Henderson folks really set you up nice. Before I could respond, Sarah appeared. Marie, your 10 o'clock is here. Jake, we'll talk later, I said, but his words lingered. That evening, over dinner with my adoptive parents, Dad Henderson seemed troubled. Princess, we need to talk about Jake. What's wrong? He's been asking uncomfortable questions about our assets. Your inheritance. Mom touched my hand. Honey, we love you. You know that, right? When we adopted you. Mom, Dad, you're my real parents. Jake might be blood, but you're my family. We're just worried, Dad said. His questions seemed calculated. I squeezed their hands. I'll handle Jake. You've given me everything, love, support, education. I won't let anyone mess with that. But that night, lying awake, I couldn't shake the uneasy feeling. Jake's sudden reappearance, his probing questions, his coincidental meeting with John. Something wasn't right, and I had to figure it out before my perfect life unraveled. The next morning, John was acting strange at breakfast. He barely touched his coffee, avoiding eye contact. Had fun at the bachelor party last night? I asked lightly. His jaw tightened. Yeah, Jake was there. My coffee cup froze midway to my lips. Jake? I didn't know he was invited. There's a lot I apparently didn't know, Marie. His voice was cold. Like how your birth parents sold you to the Hendersons. The cup slipped from my hand, chattering. What? Jake told us everything. How they were desperate for money. How the Hendersons paid them off. Were you ever going to tell me? John, that's not true. I was adopted legally because my birth parents couldn't. I need time to think. He grabbed his keys and left. At work, my friend Sandra called. Marie, we need to talk. People are saying things. What things? Jake's been spreading rumors about you, that you're hiding dark secrets, that you're ashamed of your past. My hands shook as I hung up. My phone buzzed. A text from Mom Henderson. Honey, Jake came by again. He seemed desperate. Mentioned something about owing money to dangerous people. Fury building, I drove to Jake's apartment. He opened the door, looking nervous. Hey sis, what brings you? Cut the act. Why are you spreading lies about me? He sighed, running a hand through his hair. Look, I need help. I'm in deep with some gambling debts minus 30 grand deep. So you decided to destroy my life. Jake sneered, his voice dripping with venom. The Hendersons are loaded. They bought you, didn't they? What's a little more money to protect their precious adopted daughter's reputation? They didn't buy me, and I won't let you extort them. I shot back, my voice trembling with anger. Then I'll keep telling everyone the truth about our parents selling you. Wonder what the parents of your ADHD kids would think about their therapist's sketchy background. Get out of my life, Jake. Whatever you think you're owed, you're not getting it. Wrong move, sis. Very wrong move. I stormed out, tears blurring my vision. My phone buzzed relentlessly, messages from friends asking about the rumors. John still wasn't answering my calls. Jake's threats hung over me like a storm cloud. At home, I pulled out an old photo album. There I was, 3 years old, smiling with the Hendersons on adoption day. The photos told the truth. There was no secret payment, no selling of children. Just love and legal paperwork. My phone rang. It was John. "We need to talk," he said. "Yes, we do, because everything you think you know is a lie, and I can prove it." "I'll come over tomorrow," he said. "But Marie, I don't know if I can trust you anymore." I hung up, my resolve hardening. Jake wanted to play dirty. Fine. It was time to show him what happened when he messed with the wrong sister. The next day, John sat across from me at my kitchen table, the adoption papers spread out between us. "So everything Jake said was a lie?" he asked, examining the documents. "Look at the dates, the signatures. Everything's legal." Before he could respond, my phone rang. The caller ID stopped me cold. Birth mother. My hands shook as I answered. "Hello." "Is it true?" she demanded. "Do you owe us money for all those years of suffering?" "What? What are you talking about?" "Jake said you're rich now, that you need to compensate us for giving you up." My blood ran cold. "He's lying to you too," I said, my voice breaking. After the call, I drove to my parents' house. Mom Henderson opened the door, her face etched with worry. "Marie, honey, we need to tell you something," she said. "Jake tried to blackmail us," Dad added, holding a folder of papers. "He said if we didn't pay, he'd report your clinic for client mistreatment." My knees buckled. "He what?" "We hired a private investigator," Dad continued. "Jake's done this before." I scanned the documents with trembling hands. 3 fraud cases in 2 states, restraining orders, extortion attempts against other families. "He's trying to destroy everything I've built," I whispered, tears stinging my eyes. "There's more," Dad said. "He's been feeding lies to your birth parents too, telling them they're owed compensation." My phone buzzed. A text from Jake. "Final warning, sis. Pay up, or tomorrow I start calling your client parents about their kids being mistreated." I stood, my determination solidifying. "I won't let him hurt my kids," I said, my voice steady. That evening, I made a series of calls. First to Sandra, my friend at the courthouse. "I need every legal document you can find on Jake Mitchell." Then to Sarah. "Pull all the security footage from when Jake visited the clinic." Finally to my old college roommate, now a detective. "Can you run a background check?" Piece by piece, the evidence came together. Jake's pattern was clear. Find vulnerable families, exploit their emotions, and extract money. But he'd picked the wrong target this time. I set up cameras in my office, knowing he'd show up again. Sure enough, the next day, he stormed in. "Last chance, Marie. 30 grand, or I start making calls." I recorded everything, Jake. Every threat, every lie. "I've got proof of your frauds, too." His face went pale. "You're bluffing." I played the recording of his blackmail attempt against the Hendersons. "You really think I'd let you hurt my family? My patients?" I said, standing firm. "You picked the wrong sister to mess with. You think you're so perfect, don't you? The successful one. The chosen one." "No, Jake. I'm just someone who chooses to build rather than destroy." I watched as the fight drained out of him. "Now get out." Later, I met with both sets of parents, adoptive and biological, and showed them everything. My birth mother wept. "He played us all. Use our guilt against us," she said. Mom Henderson hugged her tightly. "We all love Marie. That's what matters." That night, John called. I was an idiot for believing him. "Yes, you were," I said. "Can we talk? Really talk?" I hesitated, thinking of trust and betrayal. "We can talk, but things won't be the same." The next morning, a text from Jake's girlfriend arrived. "You should know he owes dangerous people money. Loan sharks. They're not patient." Perfect. Jake's own choices were catching up with him. I forwarded the evidence to my detective friend. That night, I sat in my office, flipping through childhood photos. There was little Jake before the bitterness consumed him. My phone buzzed again, a threatening text from Jake. But I wasn't scared anymore. The truth was my weapon, and I had an arsenal. "Your house of cards is about to fall," I whispered to the screen. The morning news hit like a bombshell. Local man arrested in connection with multiple fraud cases. Jake's mugshot stared back at me. Did you see the news? Sarah burst into my office, beaming. Those loan sharks Jake owed money to. Turns out they were running an illegal gambling ring. When they got caught, Jake went down with them. I smile, remembering the anonymous tip I sent to my detective friend about Jake's gambling connections. Sometimes justice comes from unexpected places. My phone buzzes. A message from one of Jake's previous victims. Thank you for helping us come forward. Your evidence gave us courage. 10 other families have filed charges against him. Each story mirrors mine. Exploitation, emotional manipulation, attempts at extortion. But I was the one who finally stopped him. Marie, I look up to see John standing in my office doorway. Can we talk? We sit in the park where he proposed. He speaks first. I've been an idiot. Yes, you have, I say, my tone calm but firm. I should have trusted you. I should have asked you first instead of believing Jake. I twist my engagement ring thoughtfully. Trust isn't just about love, John. It's about respect. You didn't respect me enough to hear my side. I know, he says, his voice heavy with regret. I'll spend every day making it up to you. If we get married, I emphasize the if, things will be different. I need boundaries, John. Clear ones. Later that week, my birth parents visit my clinic. They look remorseful. We're so sorry, Marie, my birth mother says. We let Jake manipulate our guilt. I understand, I reply, my tone measured. But I need space. I have a family, the Hendersons. You can be part of my life, but on my terms. The wedding is smaller than originally planned. I walk down the aisle with Dad Henderson, Mom beaming from the front row. My birth parents sit quietly in the back, respecting my wishes. Jake watches the ceremony from a jail cell, awaiting trial for multiple fraud charges. His gambling debts caught up with him, and those loan sharks weren't thrilled about him cooperating with the police to save himself. You look beautiful, John whispers during our first dance. Thank you, I say, keeping a slight distance even in his arms. Trust, once broken, takes time to rebuild. My practice continues to thrive. The kids I work with make progress every day. Their trust a precious gift I'll never take for granted. Unlike Jake, I choose to build, not destroy. Mom Henderson asks about Jake sometimes. Have you heard from him? He's where he needs to be, Mom, I reply. Some people don't change. The last time I saw Jake was at his sentencing. 5 years for fraud, plus civil suits from his victims. He tried to catch my eye, but I looked away. Sometimes the best revenge is living well while karma does its work. On my new office wall hang 2 framed documents, my marriage certificate and my therapy license. Proof that Marie Henderson, not Mitchell, built something real, something honest. Ready for your 3 o'clock? Sarah asks, poking her head in. Always, I reply, smiling as I adjust the nameplate on my desk. It reads, Mary Henderson, speech therapist. The past is behind me now. Jake's choices led to his downfall, while I rose above his schemes. Family isn't about blood, it's about choices. I chose integrity. I chose the Hendersons. I chose my own path. And John, he's learning that love without trust is like therapy without honesty. It only works if both sides are willing to do the work. We're getting there slowly.